Well, what are sort of your opinions of the game today?
Well, I thought the guys' effort was good. That's kind of what we've been talking about: effort, technique. What you saw now, the coaches are off the field. They're in real situations. They're playing fast. They're playing live. There were still there's plenty of mistakes in there that we have to correct, which is a good thing. You can go back and look at it and go, all right, when we practice and we're going to get into these real game situations, we need to practice like that a little bit more. And that's what I told them at halftime. We kind of talk about a cycle of a snap. You got to get the information from the sideline, look at the down and distance before you ever go out there and play the next play. And so I thought we did okay at that, but we can get better. And everybody's in agreement with it. So that's the one thing. We leave here, hey, this is what we got to keep improving on. But overall, this spring ball has been really good. These guys have worked hard. This is a fun team. They're fun to be around. Really good personalities. They work hard. You can coach them. They listen. They respond. And so just overall, I thought our spring ball was really good. And today was a pretty solid finish. Defense, I thought, played well. You saw some guys flying around, some good hits, opportunities to create turnovers. I'd like to see the offense, be a little bit more consistent. That's probably the biggest thing. There was plays there to be made, but enough mistakes in there that just on offense, one or two guys, it becomes a problem. Special teams, solid. We were kind of doing we called it Warrior versus Gladiator, so we're doing some teams that were independent of Boise State and the Broncos, the way we had it set up. But those guys transitioned well. Saw the punt returners. Joel, after the one that veered off to the right quite a bit, got back on track. So in the wind and the conditions and all that, I thought the guys responded special teams-wise pretty well.
What did you think of Brett Rippon's performance today?
Solid. I don't know the numbers and all that. Solid. The one thing, I always pay attention to that position quite a bit. And, you want to go out there and you want to see just, lighten it up and completion after completion. But, there's also guys doing some of the things they shouldn't be doing. We got to run the right route, and we do have to catch the ball. And we haven't played in the wind, we haven't played in the rain yet. So to me, this was a great opportunity to come out here and just have another element that we have to deal with along with the crowd. But Brett overall in camp, he's led well, he's competed well. He did today. I know he wants to go out there and throw a bunch of touchdowns, but he's got to operate the offense, and he did that with the guys he had out there. So, that's a learning opportunity for him.
You mentioned the defense. A lot of newcomers back there in the back seven. What did you think of that group today? I know only one official turnover, but it seemed like their hands were close to the ball a lot.
They were flying around. Yeah, that's a. You can talk about experience and all that. Those guys are flying around. I think Mike Young, they tried to take some shots on him, and he's got guys locked down in the boundary. Mike's a guy that's going to really help us on the defensive side. And then I think the safeties, they're filling on the run. They're playing play action. They are getting their hands on the ball. Avery Williams, I thought, played well today. He was around the ball quite a bit. Our secondary's come around. I think Coach Franklin, Coach Ambrose have done a really good job. We're still young, the experience is not there, but if those guys will keep playing like that, and you can get those corners like Horton and Mike Young playing well, that's going to help us in the back end.
What did you think of the wide receiver group today? It seemed like Jefferson had a couple opportunities.
Yeah, he was good. Those guys have all been solid. Sid's not out there. Sid Wilson not playing. He's a big key ingredient, to the wide receiver crew. But those guys have stepped up. Brian Jefferson played well. Sean was okay today. And the other guys, A.J. Richardson, I thought made some plays, a couple plays out there. But overall, that group, it's still got to elevate. We still got to play better, and we get set back. That's going to help us. But that group knows that, and they've been. Killian's had a little bit of a hamstring. A.J. Richardson had a little bit of a hamstring. Those guys were all kind of hampered a little bit. But I did think they competed. I thought they came out here and they did make some plays. We just got to make a few more.
Who are the guys that really have caught your eye this spring? And now that we're kind of done with spring ball, who are the guys you think maybe took the biggest step for you?
Leighton Vander Esch. He's just he's taking his game to another level and his leadership ability. Mike Young on the defensive side. Keikoa, I think, has played really well. DeAndre Pierce, is a smart football player. We played him at nickel, we played him at corner, we played him at safety, now we got him at field safety. I think he's really stood out. David Moa, and the defensive line in general, but David Moa has been a guy that I think has played really well. Offensive side, young guys, Ezra Cleveland, he was playing left tackle today. I think he's going to be a good player, and he's got to get some more experience, and just get in the film room and learn a little bit. And then I think Jake Constantine, yeah, he struggled a little bit today, but he's had a good spring practice, good spring ball, and I've been happy with his performance. Wide receiver-wise, Brian Jefferson getting him back. It's good to have him back. AJ, until he got hampered a little bit, was doing really well. So there's quite a few guys, but some of the newcomers, Mike Young, I've been happy with his performance and what he's able to do.
I think of an emphasis this offseason will just be on continuing to get healthy and whatnot, because it just feels like the team that is going to arrive in August will probably even look different than the team that you're at here today.
Yeah, and you got some of the new guys coming in too. I know at the linebacker position, Joseph Inda when he gets in here, Braden Boyd when he gets in here, those guys are going to help out. You get the O-line back. We got some young guys, and let me say this: we got those guys that have played for us, Archie, Mason, Molchon, those guys that are out, Garrett Larson, but these young guys stepped up. I thought Dante Harrington, that was one guy. You asked me about guys that stepped up. Dante Harrington, I think, had a great spring practice. He did really well. And those guys are going to have great competition when they all come back and they're all healthy, which is good for us.
Speaking of health, we saw Jake Rowe wearing the boot when he came back.
Yeah.
How disappointing, I don't know if you have an update on him, but how disappointing too with finally having him back healthy?
Yeah, I think just a high ankle sprain, so he'll be okay. But yeah, Jake's a guy that he's such a good player. We want to keep him healthy. He had that knee injury last year, so when he limps off, nobody's happy about that. But he's going to be okay. We'll get him healthy. It's frustrating for him. But the one thing about Jake is he handled it so well. I know it's disappointing, but he said, I'll be fine. And he came back out in the boot, so we'll get him going, and we'll have him healthy for the summer and then for fall camp. And he's a guy that, you guys watch him out here. He's a big part of what we want to do, and we need to keep him healthy.
Look at Avery Williams, what he was able to do this.
He
says he brings good energy. Walk-on kid. He's playing. He's out here. He doesn't have a nameplate on, but he seems to be in the right spot most of the time. And
yeah,
I know there's a lot of good stories, but are there certain stories that just as a coach, it's kind of more joyous, I guess, to watch?
Well, ever since he's got here, he's a guy that brings it every day. It means something to him, and he has made plays. So he's going to play for us. He's back there at punt returner. He's out there playing nickel for us right now, and he's a guy that we expect to be out there playing for us and playing for us early in the season. So if that continues, he's one of those guys that had an opportunity to come here and get his shot, and he's taking advantage of it.